Hello, it's Alex, the Bookubus. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some winter horror book recommendations. And I am getting over a cold right now, which is why I sound a bit stuffy and husky, so bear with me. I have 10 books on this list. These are all books that I have read and personally enjoyed, so I would definitely recommend them. Some of them are specifically winter set, some are Christmassy, some are neither, but have a cold, snowy setting. So yeah, I think these would all work for the winter season. My picks are mostly vintage titles from the 80s and 90s, but there are a few newer ones as well. And let's just start this off with, from 1980, Such Nice People by Sandra Scoppettoni. And this is one, as you might tell from the cover, is a Christmassy one. So this is about a family, and a lot of it is somewhat family drama type stuff, and we learn about the different characters and the different transgressions that they have going on in their separate lives. But specifically, the teenage son of the family has been getting into some weird stuff maybe, and has decided he's going to kill the rest of his family. With it having come out in 1980, it definitely has that kind of 70s slow burn type of vibe to it, but I still found it to be a very compelling read. The way that it's written is separated into days, so we kind of have this like countdown element, which definitely adds to the sense of dread and that you're kind of really building up to something. This also has some pretty wild moments as well, including the shed scene, which, if you know, you know. Next up, also from 1980, is Maynard's House by Herman Raucher. This is about a Vietnam vet who receives a house in the will of one of his former soldier friends. It is located in a very remote spot in Maine, and he decides to travel out there and live in it. But it's a bit of an odd place, and there's also a tree nearby that is known to the locals as the Witch's Tree, and so it has quite a local legend surrounding it. And while our main character gets settled into this house and his new life living there, he experiences some strange things. And this is kind of a quirky one. It's definitely a bit of a slow burn, but it also has some quite humorous moments as well. I just really enjoyed the writing style here. It was quite unique and enjoyable to read, and it definitely has some creepy moments as things play out. From 1983, we have Black Christmas by Thomas Altman. This book is not related to the excellent horror film of the same name. This is more of a crime thriller than horror, but it does have some slasher elements too, so I definitely think it fits for this list. Obviously it's set around Christmas time, and it's set in a small town. We're following the local sheriff as he is trying to investigate a serial killer who is targeting women in the area. So this one has that detective element to the story, and your typical suspects and red herrings, that kind of thing. Another one from 1983 is Tricycle by Russell Rhodes. Amazing cover, obviously. This one is, I don't remember if it's specifically set in winter, but I definitely remember there being like icy and snowy stuff mentioned at times, so I'm still counting it. This is set at a boys' academy, and one of the teachers there lives there with his wife and their young son, the son being the creepy one on the tricycle. And there are some mysterious deaths that start to occur on campus, and our main character is actually a new teacher there who used to be a student there when he was younger, and he has since been involved in an accident which took his eyesight. So he is now getting to grips with being blind and his new life here teaching. So he's got a lot going on, and then add into that this creepy kid and mysterious deaths, and he gets very much caught up in all of that. Our main character definitely finds himself in some rather hairy situations throughout the book, and then things come together in quite the climax at the end. Next up are a couple of vintage YA titles, one of them being Silent Night, one of the Fear Street books by R.L. Stine from 1991. This is, yeah, as you can tell, another Christmassy one, and we're following a character whose father owns the local department store, and she and, yeah, some of her fellow classmates work there for the holiday season, and yeah, some strange things start to happen, as does in all of these kind of books. And yeah, one of the fun things about this one is that our main character is not particularly likable. She is, yeah, very much like, you know, the daddy's girl, and she gets what she wants, and she's just kind of mean. And yeah, so not a particularly nice character, but definitely quite entertaining to read about. So if you're looking for a quick, fun, Christmassy read, then yeah, this is a good one. And from 1994 is Someone at the Door by Richie Tankersley Cusick. This is about two sisters who live in a rather remote location, and they are home alone. There's a massive snowstorm and they are snowed in. They hear on the news that there is a serial killer on the loose, and next thing they know, these two guys show up at their door. And of course they are fearful that one of them might be this killer, but they also don't have the heart to leave them out in these awful weather conditions. So they let them come in and stay with them. So this one had a lot of great suspense and tension while these four characters are, yeah, confined to this isolated location. This is a Richie Tankersley Cusick book, so it does have some love interest kind of things going on. Some of it might be a bit questionable, but you know, it was the 90s. I really enjoyed this one, and yeah, if you're looking for something with, yeah, really good wintry vibes and is a quick read, then I recommend it. Okay, back to some regular adult horror fiction. From 1994 we have December by Phil Rickman. The clue's in the name, and this one is quite a big one, but I thought it was, yeah, compelling enough to get through easily enough. And I'll read you the tagline for this. It says, "In the 12th century ruins of the Abbey, it is said every stone was cemented in blood. On December 8th, 1980, that blood will run again." This is about a band who recorded an album in this abbey that has, yeah, a dark history, and things didn't go well, and they disbanded to, you know, never talk of it again. But the story picks up 13 years later when the recordings have been found, and this brings the band members back together for a reunion. There are quite a lot of characters here, so we do, yeah, jump around and learn quite a lot about them. It is a longer book, so yeah, it has the time to do that. I remember this one had some really creepy moments too, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, if you like horror about music and bands, then I would recommend it. And if you're looking for a longer book to sink your teeth into this winter, then this would be a good one. From 2010 is Dark Matter by Michelle Paver, the subtitle being A Ghost Story, so that might give you an idea. This one is set in the 1930s, and we're following a character who joins an expedition to the Arctic. And as you can probably guess, things don't go too well on this expedition. Some creepy things happen, some horrible things happen, and yeah, we learn more about this character and the personal things that he's dealing with, along with, yeah, the immediate experiences he's having on the expedition. This one has lots of great atmosphere, and I really enjoyed her writing, and the historical setting has some creepy moments, and yeah, I thought was a unique ghost story. Okay, and the last two books I have to recommend are actually newer releases from this year, 2023. The first one being Frostbite by Angela Sylvain. This one is set in the 90s in North Dakota, and we are following a teenage girl who lives in the local trailer park. One night she witnesses a comet crash land nearby, and in the aftermath she notices that the local prairie dogs are acting rather strange and attacking people, which is not typical for them. And no one else seems to really be doing anything about it, so she takes it upon herself to investigate, figure out what's going on, and basically save the town. There are also a bunch of other characters here, including her best friend and her mum, and there's this doomsday religious cult involved as well. This one was really fun. It has lots of action, but it also has time to spend with the characters, so you get to know them, and yeah, there's an emotional element to the story as well. We've got the 90s nostalgia and also the wintry setting, with it being in the run-up to Christmas. And last up is one that I just read recently. It is Candy Cane Kills by Brian Macaulay. This is about a family, and the husband and wife are having some marital problems, and the husband decides it'll be a great idea to take the family on a trip for Christmas. They're going to stay in this remote cabin and yeah, try and, you know, get their relationship back on track. But what they don't realise is that this cabin was the setting of a massacre some years earlier. So this is a really fun slasher, and it's a novella, so it's a pretty quick read. It's well paced and action packed and fun, but also, yeah, like Frostbite, spends enough time with the characters that you care for them as well. It's got lots of great kills, and yeah, was just a fun quick read, so I would definitely recommend it for the season. And that's the list. Those are my winter horror book recommendations. Hopefully there were a couple on here that you haven't heard on every other winter horror recommendations list. Like I said, I enjoyed all of these, so I would definitely recommend them, and I hope you enjoy them too if you give them a read. If you're looking for some horror film recommendations for the season, I did share a video a couple of years ago. I'll try and remember to link that below if you want to go check that out too. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!